What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by ballwash.com. Guys, it's that time of year. The time where you're like, oh geez, what do I get my buddy? What do I get my friend as an awesome Christmas gift? The kind of gift that says, hey bro, I appreciate you, but at the same time it's like, hey bro, I think I have feelings for you. You don't want to kind of blend that line. So,
right.
What's up, Joe? Is that right?
No,
I mean, it happens, right? Right? You don't want to give them something that, kind of like, it's like, oh shit, is this more than a friendship? I've been thinking about it too, but not in that kind of way, but maybe in that kind of way. You kind of you want to give them a manly gift. It's one of those gifts that's like, hey, bro, punch on the shoulder, a good, give me some knucks and stuff like that. Ballwash.com is that place to get that kind of gift for your buddy. With an assortment of things from body washes, shampoos, conditioners. I know you're thinking you want to give another dude body wash. Trust me, for ball wash, you kind of really do. Because it is the manliest, cleaning product that's out there that I've used of actually. And every year, I don't know if you guys, have the same kind of mom who gets you like that Axe, body wash pack and everything that makes you smell like you're a junior, in high school. But it's time to grow up from that. You gotta get ball wash. It's the adult cleaning product that help you from head to toe, from hole to pole. If you go to ballwash.com, you can fill up your cart with all the assortment of products that they have. Not only, body washes, shampoos, conditioners, but also body scrubs. They got a liquid baby powder kind of thing where like it goes on like a lotion, but it dries as a powder to kind of help you in your nether regions. They also have a nut rub, a kind of cream that kind of gives you a better smell down there. So, when you have your intimate evenings with your wife, girlfriend, significant other, or, they actually have their own line of boxes. They actually have a gift pack for the holidays. All available at ballwash.com. Fill your cart up with all of their products. Then use the promo code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Use it at checkout. It'll save you 15% on your entire order. Guys, check out ballwash.com. Use the promo code FREAKNET. Save today.
This freaking show is also brought to you by audible.com. If you're looking for a good read to get yourself through this winter, or maybe you'd like to participate in our book club, more information on that later, you should head over to audibletrial.com/freaknet and get yourself a free 30-day trial plus a credit towards your first audiobook on audible.com. It's a great way to listen to books. I myself have been listening to a fantastic book on Audible the last couple of weeks, which is People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. I highly recommend it. I'll probably be listening to The Phantom Tollbooth later on next year through Audible. So yeah, you should do that. You should participate in that. You should get on it. Head over to audibletrial.com/freaknet right now and get an audiobook today.
Good job, Joe.
Not my best. But thank you.
It's okay, man. I rambled about lovemaking through my plug, so really.
You rambled about these balls, but not in a homophobic way.
That's right. I'm just saying, like, sometimes bros get a little too, questionable. I mean, we all did it growing up. Like, who hasn't slapped their buddy's ass at one point in their life,
Sure. Well, and we all have that friend that has that funk. I'm saying.
Right? I mean, I remember, being not even younger, fucking, God, what the hell is it? Maybe 22, 23 years old. Yeah, about 22, 23. And I had a buddy come over, fucking like, we played fucking like video games all fucking night. Went to fucking White Castle in the morning and got some of their breakfast sandwiches, which, I got a White Castle's breakfast sandwich last week, and I don't know if it was just, I don't know if White Castle breakfast is the best choice for Grubhub, but I don't recommend it because it just, I think the length of time between actually ordering it and it actually getting to me just made it like this weird, it wasn't good. But
yeah, I had White Castle breakfast the other day myself, and it was They were really good when they first came out. I don't know what has happened.
Yeah, I think 2020 hit it. I think fucking COVID lifestyle really hit it. Okay, I'll hold on. You told me to hold on?
No, I said I'll allow it.
Oh, sorry. I'll allow it. I thought you told me to hold on. I'm like, yeah, I'm not stopping the recording, bro. This is it. This is where we're in it.
Yeah, White Castle breakfast sandwiches smell like they haven't changed their sweatpants in 3 weeks.
No,
and they've been from home.
It's kind of like they got the bacon from like last week, microwaved it to kind of rejuvenate it. Mm-hmm. And while they did that, they kind of toasted the bread that came right from the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it used to be good. It used to be fucking amazing. Like I remember ordering. Now what breakfast White Castle do you order?
So my favorite one is just a slider with an egg on it. That's what I like.
Yes, I do the toast. Toast, egg, bacon, cheese. Love it. But I remember like getting it, like it was like, I mean, it was like decent sized fucking toast. I mean, it was kind of thick. It was soft, like delicious. But when I got this, and again, it could just be the Grubhub. I may have to like go there in the morning just to kind of like, justify it. But I mean, this thing was like fucking flat. Ugh. It was just sad. But anyways, there was that time where we're fucking like, playing video games. Or, like I went and got food, and I think I was still home at this time. I was still living at home. So me and my buddy, we passed out like 4 a.m. in my fucking bedroom. I slept in my bed, he slept on the floor and shit like that. But between the fucking like hours of playing the fucking video game and fucking just fucking sleeping in an enclosed room and the fucking White Castles, like I woke up to a pungent fucking like college dorm fucking odor.
Ugh, I can smell it just from you describing it.
Right? I mean, and I like I've been to LAN parties and shit, not to participate, just to kind of hang out. And it's just like, I mean, like for like 72 straight hours of like hot fucking like computer modems and like Taco Bell, McDonald's, fucking people just like, like shitting themselves, like, in the strangest ways possible. It's just like that weird fucking odor that just exists. And
you let a match in there, you're liable to lose your eyebrows.
Right. But if I had a product like Ball Wash, it probably never would have happened because we could have used like, it was like the Nut Rub fucking, cologne kind of, cream thing they got, or even that lotion powder, product that they have. I can't remember I think it's called Ball Guard. I mean, I use that every day before I go to work, to kind of help with like the chafing and everything, because my job requires me to walk around a lot. I'm inside a hot lab all day, and swamp ass fucking happens. But this kind of helps with that chafing and the rubbing that comes with my my thighs. So I recommend the product to anybody. And like I said, they do have a holiday out there. I believe it's like a peppermint that I'm contemplating on actually getting because I am a huge fan of peppermint. But we'll see. Very nice. I want to talk about Christmas next week. Next week is our season finale. And then we're going to take our break and come back in January with season 5. So we're going to talk about Christmas next week. We're actually going to talk about cancel culture in Christmas next week. Kind of some of the things that people, found offensive. And people who may have went a little too far with offensiveness. We may turn that into, one of our Mike Corona games. We'll see how that goes. And hopefully that's the last My Corona game, we'll ever have to play. Because hopefully 2021 brings around I don't know what the hell this world needs, but like a sanitizing of life.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely be talking about Christmas next week. There is one Christmas related item I do want to talk about today and kind of get your input and feedback on it. For a multitude of reasons, Joe. And I'll explain those reasons.
You were previewing this to me before the show. Yeah. I hadn't heard it.
Well, that's the one thing I do realize about what we do when we do these shows. And it actually brought upon a question I did want to ask you, and I keep forgetting to ask. This isn't your only podcast, Joe. You're also on Geekcast Live. For our listeners who have been around for the 5 years we've been doing this knows that, Geekcast Live is mentioned at the end of every episode, so people can enjoy twice as much Cartoon Joe on a weekly basis. But there's 4 of you guys over there. And, you guys have an intro, kind of like, we do an intro here, kind of like I do an intro on JFW. But there are some podcasts that do kind of like cold opens. Like, you listen to, Joe Rogan. Like, he kind of just like hits record and starts going. Like, we'll hit record, talk for a little bit about some stuff, and then all of a sudden I'll ask you if you're ready, you'll say yeah, and then we'll kick into the show. And it seems like a lot of the content that we could utilize in the show, we waste in like the first like 7 to 8 minutes, at the beginning. I mean, most of the time it's kind of like, hey, what do you want to talk about today? Because we don't really plan this stuff out. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I'm still waiting for us to do that Star Wars episode that I mentioned 3 years ago.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, I do too, until I remember about the shit we forget to do.
Yeah.
But what do you guys do? Give me a little behind the scenes of Geekcast Live. What do you guys do from the moment the first call is made into the first co-host to the actual intro being started? Like, what goes into that process and what happens in between that time on Geekcast Live?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to what we do. We hop on and we use Discord over there instead of Skype. Although we might not be anymore. We'll probably use it, but not for recording. The bot we use to record doesn't seem to work any longer, which is weird. But anyway, I digress. We get on, we usually we chat. A lot of times it'll be usually me and GCR, or it'll be GCR and Rob Bass. Every once in a while, Nick is the first one who's on, which is very weird. Just cause he's kind of the busiest of us. He's got like 5 kids and he's like the VP of a company now, and so he's got busy stuff. I'm not slagging him, but yeah, and we'll usually just be talking about our days or something. And what I like to do over there is I like to just make jokes the entire time that I'm on the show. That's what I really enjoy. Yeah. So I'll be listening to whatever story is being told, looking for something to make fun of, or to rip off of, or make a joke with, just to get people laughing and kind of get us in the mood for the show. And we'll usually go over, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. Is everybody ready? And then we hit record. We actually don't record the pre-show banter. We should. We absolutely should, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of the things, like, cause I've been thinking about kind of switching up the show, going into the new season, about more of getting away from the intros and, kind of focus on just cold opens, like just hitting record and starting and stuff. Cause I do, if I go back, and because I keep everything we record, both the raw audio that we do, as well as the final footage. So, I mean, I could probably go back, and there's probably gold over the last 5 fucking years that never made it to recording because it's just us talking. And then we get into a show, and now we're trying to turn this into like more of a professional sounding to our extent of what professionalism is. It just gets missed out. And I was like, I guess I kind of want your opinion on that too. Like, maybe looking at doing like some cold openings and stuff, and just, as soon as we get on, just click and start and just seeing, what fucking bullshit comes up. Yeah. It's kind of like with, when we do our live pod beans and stuff, it's just us sitting there talking and bantering. Cause, one of the biggest things is like, we do try to focus a lot on like, what's currently happening in pop culture, like movies and games, music, and a little bit of politics here and there, depending on what's going on, and a little bit about Jesus and stuff. And I know originally we said we don't talk about politics and we don't talk about Jesus, but in this time, that's a pretty common thing. And even from a lot of things that I listen to, it's almost one and the same, because I heard something about the Pope being political or some shit. I didn't really dive much into it, but it's just one of those things that, like, if you do it the right way and you don't, I guess that's just an oxymoron for saying don't do it the wrong way. But if you do it the right way, there is some benefit to talking about politics and religion in a sense that, could be entertaining to people.
Sure. Of course.
Like I said, just doing it in the right way.
It's things that dominate our lives. So it's not totally off the board. It's doing it with, respect and I want to say dignity, but there's no dignity in this. It's a podcast with two white guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's privilege at that point, bro.
No, not your humiliation, listeners. Our humiliation.
Yeah.
But, I have here a note from Sarge. No, I'm just kidding, Sarge.
God, which, speaking of Sarge, guys, if we haven't mentioned it in a while, this freaking show is part of Freakin Studios, along with Just Freakin Wrestling that I host with Dizzle J and Dally, and of course the Gray Area that's hosted by Sarge. Check out freakinstudios.com to check out all the podcasts. I believe I heard that, Lowell from Low, is launching a new podcast or something like that. I heard it's like I heard it's like a month ago. Maybe it's happening. I really don't know. I got a message from Sarge, asking me for the information on the Pretty Little Freaks Podbean, thing, and I gave it to him because he was setting Low up for, some podcast. I haven't heard about it. If it's part of Freaknet Studios, I'm unaware of it, which that makes me a poor, chairman or CEO or whatever the fuck I'm called, to this, studio. I don't know what my title is, but apparently I'm at the top of the mountain. Right?
What'd you say?
I said I don't know what my title is, but I'm pretty sure I'm at the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
So, chairman or czar, I thought would be a nice word.
Czar is fun.
Right. And I think the only reason I like it is because it sounds like it starts with a Z, but it's a C. Yep. Unnecessary fucking letters in an unnecessary fucking word.
Yep. From the same root, it's Caesar and Kaiser.
Like the roll?
Yep.
Nice. Yep. So,
R-L-L and R-O-L-E.
Nice. Yeah. So I always envision myself winning the lottery and becoming a business owner. So, take notes, people. If you come to work for me, this is the kind of management I, do. People say I got an idea. Okay. And then I don't know what the hell's going on over there. So, and I tried to Google it. I tried to search Pretty Little Freaks. It does not show up. I'll tell you what did show up though. A fucking website stole my JFW logo and is selling it on their own merchandise.
What?
So that's a cool fucking thing I found. Yeah. I don't know how I found it. All I know is that like I was just for one day I was bored. So I Googled this freaking show just to see what does pop up. And obviously our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Music, all those, fucking, Stitcher, Player FM, all these things are fucking popping up. But there was this website that talks about like popularity and reviews and stuff like that on the show. And I fucking popped it up and I listened to it, or I didn't listen to it. I read what was going on in it. Nothing negative. We don't have a huge following, but I mean, compared to like, Kevin Smith and Joe Rogan, I don't think we'll ever reach that pinnacle. If we are, I wouldn't have to worry about fucking falling asleep and not recording like I did yesterday.
Oh, goodness. We'll do this.
But, yeah. But, after I did this freaking show, I looked up JFW and there wasn't really much on JFW as there was this freaking show, but there was a link to t-shirt merchandise. And I was like, oh shit. It looks like there's a link to TeePublic where you could get merchandise for both JFW and this freaking show just by going to teepublic.com, TeePublic.com, and searching either TFS or JFW, depending on your merchandise preference. But it wasn't TeePublic. It was some other fucking website. And when I Googled it, it turns out that this fucking website just takes fucking logos and stuff and fucking resells them. So
Yeah, I found it.
There we go. What's the website?
T. Herivar?
Yep.
Herivar?
Yep. So guys, if you ever want to buy merchandise and it's from us and it's on that website, that's not us. I don't get money for that. I don't know what my rights or what I could do to fix that because, I don't know what happens after we upload a logo onto TeePublic. And I was talking to DJ about it and he's like, dude, you need to fight that. You need to, get a hold of TeePublic and let them know. But realistically, how do I know TeePublic didn't sell them the fucking logo?
I guess you don't.
I don't. I really don't. Because
can't do that. But
yeah. So that's all that. That was stupid. Where the hell was I going with that? Oh yeah. So I tried to search the fucking Pretty Little Freaks fucking Podbean, couldn't find it because obviously I renamed it. They renamed it. I don't know what the hell it is. So if she does have a podcast, I hope it's going good because I don't see it advertised on Freakin' the Studios fan page. I don't see it advertised by Sarge. I don't see it advertised by Lowe. So yeah, I could support it, but without knowing what it is, how could I do that?
yeah.
Right. Which I guess is a poor way to say it because I've never seen God, but I support what he does.
Yeah, but at least you know.
I'm not comparing. I don't want people to think I'm comparing. Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm comparing God to a fucking.
You know.
Right. Right. In my life, God is very similar to a former co-host of a podcast that said pussy a lot.
Right.
So, yeah.
In my religion.
Right. Where I come from, we take all the things we're not sure of that we support anyways and throw them in a big fucking, pot where Jesus and, drunken women and fucking Boston cream honey buns all fucking live in the same world. And yes, Boston cream honey buns is a real thing.
Sounds wonderful.
It's not. I can sit here and tell you it's not.
You had them before?
Yeah. They're at work and some dude offered it to me cause, he was leaving and I was like, oh no. Cause, I'm dieting. I'm trying to eat right, trying to eat healthy. I'm sitting here drinking black tea, which I realize I drink about a gallon of tea a day. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to tell you how I make tea and you can tell me how stupid I am. But I drink black tea and I'm over here eating an organic fruit fucking, toaster tart. Some off-brand Pop-Tart that Sherry gave me.
Classic.
Not the greatest. But what do you expect when you eat toaster tart?
Right. Oh, is it from Aldi?
I don't know. Kroger, I think.
Oh, okay.
Pop pastry, maybe tart. It's not a Pop-Tart.
Right.
There's no cartoon Pop-Tart popping out of a fucking toaster from. I'm assuming those commercials are promoting homicides because those Pop-Tarts seem to die every fucking time.
They do.
Yeah. Cannibalism. They can't even be cannibalism because it's humans. Yeah. It goes to show why we can't have aliens here on this fucking planet because anybody a little bit different, we're gonna fucking eat them. Pop-Tarts prove that.
Also the history of, there's been 9 hominid species in the history of the planet and the only one left is humans. Sapiens.
You know what I love about you, Joe? You assume I know what hominid means.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like everyone fucking should. Not Travis.
Sorry.
Pretend I don't.
So it's species of human-like apes.
Why you just say monkeys, bro?
Because monkeys have tails, and humans aren't monkeys. And also there's a lot more than 9 species of monkeys.
Human-like apes. Like Neanderthals?
Yeah, like Neanderthals and like, that's the only one I know off the top of my head.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to say, but okay, So I knew what you were talking about. I just didn't know the name of which you speak.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So there's been like 9 different species of them. Like humans is one, Neanderthal is one. There's like the that one that they found in Africa they named her Lucy. She was a different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in the frozen tundras of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been like 9 different species of hominid, of human-like apes. And humans are the only ones that are left. And it's probably because we wiped all the other ones out.
Right. But it had to have been an accident. Like, oops, my bad.
We bred with some of them because there's still Neanderthal DNA in some people's gene pools. But
like Ben Stiller, he has to be a Neanderthal.
Right?
He just looks very like
voice. It's that nose, right?
It's a lot of it. That fucking jawline. I mean, everything about him screams caveman. Al Pacino a little bit too. Anyway.
So mediocre, but I love it. Can you hear me pouring the microphone there?
Do I hear what?
Could you hear me pouring my coffee on the microphone?
No, I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. You keep cutting in and out, and I'm not sure if that's going to be in the recording or not, so I just ignored it and moved on.
Sorry. I'm probably moving around too much.
Oh, well, if it sounds like I'm just kind of like brushing off what you're saying, it's because I only hear half of it, and I don't want to be rude.
No, you're good. I just assume that people only ever hear half of what I'm saying.
Well, we'll find out in the recording.
Because I only ever hear half of what other people. I've got hearing problems.
Oh God. Okay. Joe, you did, remind me of a couple things, that we gotta get up and get out of the way. So, presidential bracket is over. Abraham Lincoln did beat out George Washington to be the top president, the most badass, possible win in a fight, beat down president, which really doesn't come to any surprise.
No. He's one of the few presidents who I think has actually been in a bare knuckle boxing match.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be, still to this day, the top most favorite president.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Obama's pretty close. Washington. I don't know, JFK. JFK wouldn't be in the top 10, would he?
He might be, but only because he died in office.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I think when you die in office, people remember you better.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree with that because, like 5 or 6 fucking presidents died in office, and I can only remember 3 of them.
Oh, I just meant more fondly, not like people remember you better as in like they remember who you are. I just mean that like looking back on it, it's like, oh, he died. People must have cared about him.
Like Franklin Pierce.
Yeah.
Right? That was a president's fucking name?
It was.
It was.
Did he die in office? I didn't know.
No, he didn't die in office. That's why no one really knows him.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking Bill Clinton's in the top 10 of most popular presidents. Way to go.
That's weird to me.
Truman is. I don't know why. I guess, I don't fucking know. That had to be an FDR thing. But, a lot of them don't surprise me. Fucking, okay, this has to be old because Obama's on the top 10 and I assume he would be.
Yeah, I would assume that too.
When was this done? Well, it don't matter. Now we're getting off topic. So Abraham Lincoln won. Congratulations to you. You are the top president in the beatdown bracket. Congrats. And thank you for, go ahead.
I said, here's to the King of Mars.
The King of Mars.
Yeah, and in Adventure Time, Abraham Lincoln is alive and he's the King of Mars.
Well, cheers to the Vampire Slayer. Thank you for those who participated in the polls. That was a lot of fun doing that. Maybe we'll do that more. We did do an additional poll on the Effin' Book Club, the Freaknet Book Club that we're starting next season. We put My Phantom Toll Booth up against Joey's Devil Chessboard. I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Phantom Toll Booth won. So we're going to be reading that book starting next season. So make sure you guys go out and get your copy. You can order it on Amazon, or you could get it through Audible if you want to go ahead and use our link, audibletrial.com/freaknet. You get a 30-day free trial. You can use that credit to getting that book and participate with us. What do we decide on, Joey? We're going to do a chapter a week. Can I talk about what happened in the chapter?
Yep. That's right.
And I think there's about 20 chapters in that book, so it'll get us through half the season. So let's pick a second book. Maybe we'll do your Satan checkers or whatever the fuck it is, and
Satan's checkers.
Right. Or we can also take recommendations from other people out there who have ideas on books. I already have my second book idea in the old noggin. So, what else we got to talk about? We're going to talk about some reboots coming up in 2021. But before we do that, I want to talk about the one and only Christmas thing I want to talk about today.
Oh, yes, please.
Because I want to bring it up before it gets too far out. Sarge did talk about this already on his show. So I've been wanting to talk about this for 3 days. So I don't want him to come up to me and like, hey, man, I see you're taking my topics. Nope. No, definitely did not. I wanted to talk about this. I'm going to read the article. It comes from MSN.com. Liberal Santa makes kid cry by telling him he won't get him a gun for Christmas.
Okay.
I'm not going to read the article.
Is this a complicated Christmas story joke?
No, this is a real life thing that happened at Harlem Irving Plaza in Norridge, Illinois.
Oh shit. I used to drive by that all the time.
Yep. Apparently a kid, went up to Santa. Santa asked him what he wanted for Christmas. The kid wasn't really sure what to say. And obviously they're doing social distancing. So Santa and, I'm going to assume it's either Mrs. Claus or a helper elf that Mrs. Claus doesn't know about. Sitting on one side of the table and the kid sits on the other side of the table. The kid's, dad is a Chicago police officer who the kid looks up to. The kid's about 4 years old.
Yeah.
So Santa asked him what he wanted. The kid said he wanted a Nerf gun. And, let's see here. To quote to Santa, no, not even a Nerf gun. If your dad wants to get it for you, that's fine. But I can't bring it to you. What else would you like? Lots of other toys, Legos, there's bicycles, there's cars and trucks. The kid wasn't really sure how to answer. The mom was just like, oh, he just wants a Nerf gun. And he's like, I'm not bringing him a Nerf gun. What else do you want? What else do you want? What else do you want? To the point where the kid got upset.
No.
So the kid started crying. It's very sad. I saw a lot of reaction videos to this. A lot of people, wasn't really happy with for what they said is the mall Santa kind of like allowed his, beliefs to interfere in the happiness of a child. But Joey, I want to ask you, not only as a husband to be a potential father in the future, a Democrat yourself, as we have talked about before.
Oh, just because I mean I'm one of them, but go on.
But also because of your career, your livelihood choice that you made.
Yeah.
I want to get pros and cons on what this Santa did. Where there's some positives to his beliefs in saying not even a Nerf gun because he's an anti-gun guy. Did he go a little bit too far in making a child cry during the holidays? I just want to get your feedback on this. If you have any pros, I'd like to hear them. And then obviously the cons that are pretty obvious.
Yeah. So I've got so many thoughts and it's really hard to organize them.
Did you hear about this before I brought it up?
Oh, I had no idea about it.
Gotcha.
So I guess my first knee jerk is that a lot of people don't know that Christianity is supposed to be completely nonviolent. Mm-hmm. And that, in the earliest centuries of the church, it was believed that when Christ disarmed Peter in the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ disarmed all of us. So, there's actually a strong Christian history of not owning a weapon, any reason. That being said, there is also a Christian history of the opposite of that, because you have like St. Augustine in the 300s saying things like, you need to have a weapon not to defend yourself, but to defend your neighbor, things like that. So, like, maybe this guy was you could make the argument if he's playing the character straight, if he's really being St. Nicholas, you could say, maybe he's saying St. Nicholas, the actual saint, would be committed to nonviolence. Therefore, I can't, as St. Nicholas, give you a gun.
Yeah.
So like, if I take that, like, I'm being an asshole about it. I'm completely, just the really far extreme view on one side would be, Santa shouldn't give guns to people.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless. I don't care if it's Nerf gun, whatever. I don't think Nerf guns hurt anybody. I don't think they promote any kind of violent culture. They're just Nerf guns. They're fun to play with. Get over it. But on the other hand, I do think it is too far to make a kid cry. And like, mall Santa is like, it's up there with like, it's like a social worker or a chaplain or a kind of pastor or a kind of, a care worker of some kind.
Yeah.
And your job in that role is to preserve the feeling of magic in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do feel like, at a certain, it's not as though, there's any situation in which the kid goes to him and says, Santa, can I have a gun for Christmas? And the mall actually gives the kid a gun.
Yeah.
Santa at the mall is not going to hand them out to people. So there's really no harm in being like, Dad, are you getting him a gun? Great. Santa's bringing you a gun. Like.
Yeah. And there was and I know I talk a lot, not a lot, but, I mentioned Steven Crowder a lot, the conservative, radio, podcaster or whatever. And he actually had, the mom, the dad, and the kid on, and he kind of portrayed Santa himself. One of the coolest things that he wanted to do because of, the situation, the kid crying and the Nerf gun and stuff like that, he wanted to send the kid, like, he wanted to get the kid a Nerf gun and like, the child's really into boxing and wanted to send him some boxing stuff, like, he's into Rocky and all those movies and he wanted to do all that. And the parents even told, like, Steven, like, hey, I appreciate it, but, we are doing well for ourselves and we are able to get him everything he wanted. So, Steven, I guess, is, getting a bunch of toys or something to donate to like her church or something for like kids who can't Christmases.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, just because like he wanted to do something because of this and everything. And, they have like these mug clubs and like, memberships and stuff that they get on their shows that allow them to do things like that. But like they were talking about, like even like, he grew up Canadian, so they grew up, I guess they have a Santa up there. I still don't understand fucking Canadian Christmases. I'm assuming they're very similar. I don't fucking know. Moose instead of reindeer. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. But he was saying like one of the things that the Santa could have done when the kid brought up a Nerf gun, and it was the thing too, because he even mentioned like, it's not like the kid asked for a gun. He asked for like a Nerf gun. But I guess one of the things that like, the Santa could have said was, well, if you were a good boy, we'll see what, you get, this holiday season and stuff like that. It's like, implied to the kid, like, hey, we'll see what happens. But it's just one of those harsh realities. Cause like, I can't put myself in the mind of a 4-year-old because I don't know how I would have reacted if I was this kid and I asked for something. I think at 4 years old, I probably would have asked for like a wrestling figure or like a wrestling ring or something like that. And a lot of like the even wrestling nowadays, people still see it as like some barbaric fucking thing on TV, even though it's been mentioned and proven for over a decade that it's fake. It's not real. It's, it's no different than the stunts you see in movies and shit like that. But even then, like, people have like this weird cancel culture on pro wrestling. So, I mean, I guess that me at 4 years old, if I asked for like a wrestling ring or a pro wrestling action figure or something like that, and some, mall Santa said like, well, I can't bring you anything barbaric because those animals destroy each other. How about the My Little Pony or some goofy shit like that? I guess that would fucking affect me because it's something I love and something I want that like some random adult who's supposed to be Santa and bring joy to my life is telling me that the thing I love is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess and you mentioned it, there's a right way to do it. It's just he obviously didn't do it. He did lose his job.
Actually, that is a good point too. I really don't like Steven Crowder at all, just for the record. But he makes the point in saying, he could have said, if you were a good boy, we'll see what happens. That's exactly the way it should have been handled. It shouldn't be your interaction with this child is maybe 5 minutes and a picture.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's not your job. It's not your job.
Yep. It's one of those situations where I think in Santa's mind, that moment was a teaching moment for that kid, but it's not his place to have that moment with him.
No.
But yeah, it's a goofy thing that things like that. It happened. It's funny to hear that happened in Illinois because the moment I heard about it without knowing where it was from, I'm like, I bet that's a fucking Midwest thing.
That's so funny.
Because I don't think that's anywhere else but somewhere in like Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois. It just seems like it's gonna happen here. And then they said, and I don't know where Norwich fucking Illinois is. I don't know where the Harlem Plaza and stuff is.
Oh, it's literally, I know you don't care, but, it's on the west side of the city. We drove through it all the time. You just drive straight up Harlem Avenue. You'll eventually get there.
Okay.
Yeah. When we lived in, Forest Park and, we drove back and forth from the north side, we would drive through it all the time. We passed, Harlem Irving Plaza literally every day.
Gotcha. Well, there was a Santa there. There was a Santa there. But yeah, no, so the kid seems to be doing okay. Parents said they got all the gifts for him, so he's all good. And
sorry, I don't know why, but something just popped up to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to be talking more about cancel culture next week, but
yes.
Why is it that from your perspective, why are you fine with the Santa being fired? Why should he have been fired for that if you're so worried about cancel culture?
You're asking me like why I'm okay with him being fired?
Yeah. Yeah. Should he have been for that?
No. I don't believe he should have been fired. I don't want to come off like I'm okay with it. I'm just getting the fact that he was fired for it.
Yeah. I think that's weird that he was fired for it. It seems like a strange thing.
Yeah. Now looking at the video, like yes, I don't think he should have because it did, in a way, it sounded like he was berating a child, but not in like an aggressive way. It's not like he sat there and called the child. Now, if he went around and said, your idea of what a Christmas gift is dumb, but what do I expect from a child whose dad's a cop? Now, if he says something like that, fired.
Yeah,
because that's insulting to the child. It's insulting to the child's parents and everything like that. But the fact where he's just like, I'm not bringing you a Nerf gun. If your dad wants to get you one, that's fine. What else do you want? No, I think, maybe a talking to, maybe putting a note in the file or some shit like most supervisors do. No, I don't think he should have been fired. If more things happened than what was in that video, and that's the biggest thing too, is like you could only know what goes on in the video. And who knows, maybe there's more to the video than what's being aired or what's being shown. I don't know. But there's more to it that justified in firing. Hey, that's the discretion of the mall or the company that offered up the Santa. I'm assuming it comes from some kind of hiring service or whatever that Santas get hired through or whatever.
I think there is actually literally a Santa hiring service for that.
I believe there is. And I think that's what it said in the article. I think the article actually mentioned the company, and I kind of wiped away the article. I just think it's interesting that people talk about cancel culture all the time. And the thing is that guns are very rarely actually canceled. Cops are very rarely actually canceled. But here's a guy who is literally fired just for standing up for what he believed in. And everyone's like, well, because I disagree with your beliefs, I'm happy that you're fired. I just think that's weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
I'm not actually trying to take the side of making kids cry.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's what cancel culture has been all about. I mean, fucking look at Dukes of Hazzard that got canceled just because of the General Lee flag. I mean, what racism was in the Dukes of Hazzard that they had to cancel that? Or Paw Patrol?
Oh, Paw Patrol actually canceled though. That was a joke.
Was that really a joke though?
It was really a joke. It was just people just
believe it
because they want to believe it.
God, I hope it was. Because it's just that weird shit. And it's the thing too. I believed it because that's the world that we've been living in lately. It's that weird aggression that, like, what was it? And we're going to talk more about next week, but the fact that Baby It's Cold Outside, like people were offended by that song because apparently they were talking about this guy drugging this woman.
Yeah, that's a weird one. We can talk about this next week too.
Yeah, but it's just weird because like this isn't my original thought, but it was posted up somewhere that said, Baby It's Cold Outside needs to be canceled, but the WAP is a thing.
My goodness.
So it's just weird stuff like that. But no, to answer your question, I don't believe he should have been fired.
Okay, cool.
Just
I like we're on the same page about things, but
yeah, I don't think anyone should lose their fucking job just because they have an opinion. It's just how that opinion is put across to other people. I do believe he honestly went about it the wrong way, but not in a term where he should have been terminated.
Yeah.
Just use common sense because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's a job. You don't have to sit there and express your opinion to a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
You sit there and say, what do you want for Christmas? I want this. Okay, well, if you're a good lad, you're going to get it. And then you can just move on. Or, that sounds like a wonderful idea. And just keep moving on and collect the fucking paycheck. Right. It's like, I mean, people sit at work and like, I go into work and there's people who sit there and they talk about this fucking election. And there's one guy that says, oh, this election isn't over. And then there's another guy that says, well, they already claimed Biden president and everything. And like, I can sit there and have a conversation with them, but it's not the place for it because I'm at work. That's why I have a podcast. Because I can sit there and have those views on it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I think Santa should just kind of like step back. But
I do agree with that. I do. There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, as a pastor, I feel even more strongly about it because like, I'm a public figure, so I have a responsibility to behave a certain way when I'm in the public eye. Which is one of the reasons that I've tried to not disguise my identity, but at least not make it super obvious who I am all the time.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Joe. I want to get your kind of view on this real quick. Let's say that you're at church, you're having your service, and you bring up all the kids to like, I remember you used to do this at the first church you were at, where the kids would come up. I don't think you did it personally, but somebody did. Like the kids would come up, sit around in a circle, and like you would talk to them. Yeah. Let's say that you did that to the group of kids at your church, and you sat down, and all of a sudden you took it upon yourself to tell them, now if Santa was a real person, then obviously he could do this, this, and this, but we all know Santa's not real. You said that to a group of kids. And parents were so outraged that they wanted you fired. Would there be a justification of you being fired, or would you think that'd be too extreme?
I think it'd be too extreme. But that's not just because I would never do that, but I do think it would be too extreme.
Yeah, I know you would never do that. And I hope people who listen to the show know that you would never do that. Just a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like if you took it upon yourself to tell a bunch of like 3, 4, 5-year-olds that their idea of this magic man who brings them gifts once a year is fake.
Right. Yeah, that'd be, so I gotta put myself in that even mindset. I would be outraged that they would want me fired over it, I think, because it'd be like, well, what's my job? Is my job to teach these kids or not?
Yeah.
But that's not a time or place either, because it's a 5-minute thing before they go off to Sunday school or whatever.
It's one of those things which I think maybe I'd put this in the same category as that situation as, listen, we really don't want to fire you, but maybe you should kind of take it upon yourself to walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I think this guy, even if he was fired from the Norwich location, I don't think they fired him completely. I'm sure they could have moved him to a different location. Just like if you if you went like so like, anti-Santa in a moment of fucking like hysteria, I'm sure you could find our church somewhere.
Oh, probably.
Right?
There are plenty of churches out there who I think would consider Santa to be some kind of like pagan idol or something. And they're wrong too, but
Yeah.
I know they're out there. There's lunatics all over the place. You can get
That's sometimes
honestly, if I was gonna go full grifter, I would do that. You know,
that's
there's
something
so
I do.
much to be had if you don't have any conscience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that in a future show. I want to talk about choices we make for raising kids. Obviously, we don't have kids, but to get an idea of what kind of parents we're gonna be and what we allow them to believe or what we're gonna take away from them at a young age. I do want to make a note of that, Joe. We'll do that. We'll do that in the next season, early, so we don't forget about it. Because I really want to stop saying we're going to do shit and not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I want to start coming up with more extravagant shit to not do.
Yes. There was
we're going to take a trip to China and send you guys photos of the Great Wall next season.
Right. Like we're going to dismantle the Great Wall brick by brick. We'll do that in the next episode, next season.
Yeah, we're gonna get in the vomit comet and do a whole episode in zero gravity.
Yeah. Yeah. I think next season we're going to reenact, Forrest Gump, but, through the eyes of Jenny. So.
I'd watch that.
They should make that. They should make that fucking movie. Yeah, make a note about, parenting and stuff like that.
I put it in the chat.
There you go. God, now I just gotta remember it's in there.
Right?
That'll be like one of the first episodes we do next season. We'll just get it right off because there's a lot of views I always ask people about like how they would raise their kids, and it always interests me. It's no right or wrong, just how they would interest, and then I'll tell them why they're wrong. Anyways, to wrap up because we are getting towards the end of the show here. Yeah, we got maybe 5-6 minutes. 2021, we're going to see a lot of reboots of some TV shows, from the past that they're bringing back. I just want to get you a quick, pro and con on this show coming back. So almost like a lightning round, give me one positive, one negative to these episodes coming back.
Sure.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Ooh, are they having the original cast?
No, Jared Padalecki from Supernatural is going to play Walker. I don't have the notes in front of me, but if I remember from the last time I looked at this, I believe Jared's going to play Walker. I think they're going to have a female partner. Jared is going to have a gay brother part of the show, which they, for some reason, had to emphasize the gay part of the brother. Don't know why. Whatever. And there's something else. They try to really kind of melting pot this reboot.
Well, that sounds like one positive is to try and melting pot the reboot. Negative, the Texas Rangers are historically actually not very good, and the show is an excellent piece of propaganda to convince you that they are actually good.
The fact that one man is tearing apart 5-6 people at once, but again, it's Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I mean it's a good show and it's really enjoyable to watch. I'm looking forward to it now that I know it's a thing.
Yeah, Colin put it on Plex and I'm watching it. It's amazing. Some of these shows I don't fucking remember. It's just the fact that this fucking dude walks up to these people, drops down the tailgate of his truck and says, okay, either get in or we'll do it the hard way. And then all of a sudden, obviously, I don't know if the ratio of criminals willing to fight versus not fight down in Texas is similar to this movie, but there has not been one person that said, yeah, I'll get in the truck. Everybody who happens to know who Walker, Texas Ranger is, who knows who Cordell Walker is like, fuck it, I'll fight him. What's the worst that could happen? And then boom, roundhouse. It's come on, dude, just get in the back of the fucking truck. But anyways, I'm excited to see it just because I like Jared Padalecki. I think Sam Winchester is a badass. I think he'd make a great Texas Ranger. I'm wondering how his appearance is going to change from playing Sam to playing Walker.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to cut the hair, if he's going to grow the beard out,
Right.
and all that other stuff.
I want him to play a young, like, Roland Deschain in a remake of The Dark Tower.
Ooh, there you go.
That movie was so bad.
Punky Brewster.
I never watched Punky Brewster, and I think that maybe some things are better left in the past.
I can do that.
I'm excited that other people are excited, I guess.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy? Yeah! Bring that back. I'm in. That sounds good. Original, is that, I don't know. I don't know what you know.
So Ren and Stimpy, I mean, obviously you remember the original Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the 2000, the spin-off of it, in like 03?
Oh no.
Yeah, so,
maybe a couple episodes, but I don't think I knew that it was a spin-off.
Trust me, you would have known because, I'm gonna give you the last scene of the last episode I saw in the spin-off. Ren and Stimpy were about to go to bed. Stimpy gets excited, runs to the bed, leans over the edge of the bed with a catcher mitt on his ass. Then Ren runs at him. They slide underneath the blankets and then squirrel around, and then the credits roll. That was the spinoff that was put onto, I believe it was Spike TV.
Oh.
So clearly that failed. But
Right.
now they're going to spin it off. I think they're going to go back to family friendly.
I feel like they're going to have to be different dogs because enough time has passed. They should not be alive anymore.
How would you feel about a live action Ren and Stimpy?
I would hate that. Unless it's like, you ever watch the show Wilfred with Elijah Wood, where he's playing
the dog as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they just had like regular people in like Ren and Stimpy dog suits,
Mm-hmm.
they're not in any other way acting like dogs. They're just normal people dressed in suits. I think that'd be hilarious and worth watching. Especially if like no one draws attention to it. It's just a thing that exists.
Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. HBO Max is coming out with a series called Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. It's going to focus on high school group of women, the Pink Ladies group or whatever.
You know what? I hope it's HBO Max, so I'm sure it'll be a good show. I'm sure it'll be interesting and fun to watch, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who will be really into it. But there's no reason to tie it into the Grease property, other than just sheer, like, if we slap Grease on it, 1 million more people are going to watch a week, and I think that's stupid.
All right. They're going to get all those Grease fans in like the first episode until they realize that it's not the same.
Yeah.
Now, I would love it, because obviously technology, I think, has the ability to. I would love for it to look like the old Grease movie.
Yeah.
Not this high def. Like, if it could look like that grady old fucking filming,
Yeah.
sold. Fucking
Like
sold.
Actual film.
Yeah. Battlestar Galactica.
Ooh. So I really liked Battlestar Galactica. Is it just going to be a remake of the whole show?
Battlestar Galactica remains a key series in the history of science fiction television, thanks to both the highly influential original series and the sci-fi remake that reimagined the concept for a new era. This time around, Sam Esmail, the showrunner behind Homecoming and Mr. Robot, is the new man in charge for Peacock's latest reboot. Little is known about what the series will look like, although Esmail did take to Twitter to reassure fans that his version won't be a remake of the sci-fi show. Instead, it will explore a new story within the mythology while staying true to the spirit of Battlestar.
Oh, see, now that sounds interesting. Do something new within an old property. I'm interested in it. And it helps that I really loved Battlestar Galactica, the remake.
Didn't you just say that the Pink Ladies would be fine without being Grease?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel like, so with the Pink Ladies, it sounds like you're just going to tell the story of the Pink Ladies that were in the movie. and you're just going to recast them as young high school girls or whatever, probably 20-year-olds who look like high schoolers.
Yeah. See, this where we need more information, because what if it's Pink Ladies, but it's 2020?
See, that might be really good and interesting.
Right? Like gangs in schools?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if this one's real or not. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't know. I will give it a shot, but I feel like the first one had everything it had to say was said. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else is left to say.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's a spin-off, like a continuation, I don't want it to be a reboot. I don't want to see the same story all over again.
Right. And I don't know that I want to see the same story, updated.
Yeah. Now, if they made like a Netflix movie of like maybe like Will Smith's like kid or something.
Yeah. Like showing how he's a good dad because Uncle Phil was in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of rejected the way that his dad was. I think that could be really.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm skeptical. I really, the fact that there's nothing new anymore, and I realize, I am aware that there is some slight hypocrisy to my opinions on this because I liked Battlestar and I'm happy that Battlestar is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware. I'm not, but there are some things also where I'm just like, there's so many different ways to tell that story. I don't know why you pick.
See, I'm a fan of spin-offs. I'm not a fan of reboots.
Yeah. I'll give you that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Fuller House, but I've heard it's mostly not great.
It has its moments to where like the way I figured it out, and I did enjoy it. And I think if you go into the way I went into it, you'll actually enjoy it. It's Full House for this era. So you're not going to get like, like you look back at Full House in like the 90s and they talk about like, or Stephanie's friend who got in a car accident because like their friends were drinking and driving, or even like talking about like, DJ's mom dying from drunk driving, or Papooey passing away and shit, and Michelle finding out, or Michelle getting like amnesia from falling off a horse. Those things aren't going to happen. That was 90s television where you could do things like that. It's kind of like Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World. Boy Meets World, Sean gets drunk, his dad abandons him, all this shit with like Corey cheating on Topanga and stuff like that. Like you can get that shit in the 90s, but that's not happening anymore. That's not how TV is nowadays. So going into it knowing that it's not Full House, you're going to be okay with it.
Gotcha.
But it actually is a pretty good show. It's one of those shows that like they didn't remake it for the Full House fans. They remade it for the kids of the Full House fans to watch. So if you go into it like that, I think you actually will enjoy it. There are some funny things in there. I mean, Kimmy is Kimmy. Obviously DJ is a little more goofier than what she was back in the day. Right. Stephanie's fucking hot. But I mean, their kids fucking make it, worthwhile too. And obviously Danny, Joey, and Jesse show up from time to time. And,
sure.
So
I think that's maybe the thing for me is like, I've got no problem saying, let's make something for the kids of the people who liked this show.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you slap a property on it, when you're like Fuller House or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or, it creates expectations of nostalgia that I think can be detrimental to the actual enjoyment of the property.
Oh, 100%.
Just do a separate thing. You don't have to, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't, and that's why I said like, if you want to do spin-offs, but don't market it as you're bringing back this show. It's like Disney. When Disney did Girl Meets World, they didn't bring it back as Boy Meets World 2.0. They just brought back as the Corey's raising their kids now. And obviously Disney, for some godforsaken reason I can't explain, everything they do is fucking magic. Fucking crushed it. Good fucking show. But, like Fuller House, like they kind of sold it off like Full House. Like, they're rebooting Full House, which, hey, is all well and good, but fucking like 10-year-old me who watched Full House isn't as interested in watching it at 28, 29, and 30. It's just not the same. But I think they kind of like boosted it for parents to be like, oh my God, my kids will love this because I loved it.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince, I think is the same way. It's like I think it's when too much time passes, you're not going to get that same fan base.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, dude, like I wouldn't mind, and like I said before, like with the movie idea, if you did on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever the fuck you wanted to release at Hulu, if you wanted to like bring back like an old TV show, just bring it back in like a movie that's like on stream, like fucking apps or whatever, and just have people kind of like relive that shit. Like I wouldn't mind fucking seeing the Wonder Years fucking come back. It's just a fucking movie. Just to see like what shit it is, because I want to see how fucked up fucking Kevin Arnold is.
I'm in.
Just like small things like that. I think what would be a good show, a fucking spin-off, would be like a TV series of Sandlot. That'd be fucking good.
I want to find out what happened to that guy. I can't remember his name, but it talked about how he got lost in the 60s and no one ever saw him again.
Oh.
In the epilogue, where they're just like, that guy, he just disappeared.
Was he like the tall, lanky kid with glasses?
Can't remember.
Yeah. We're gonna revisit Sandlot one day too. I want to revisit movies. You want to revisit movies with me? Is that too much movie podcast weekly?
I think it's fine. Movie podcast weekly isn't even weekly anymore, so.
Okay. I want to go back to old kids movies from time to time.
Yeah, I think that sounds fun.
Yeah. Maybe we can turn into we'll bring Clint back and do what the fuck is that Freaky Flicks or Freakin' Flicks or whatever the hell we do.
That'd be fun.
Right. I think we did it. I think we did fucking Freakin' Flicks about like movie sequels, because Sandlot sequel sounds fucking familiar.
Yeah, I think we did that also, but I can't remember.
It'd be nice if I remembered notes of shit we did. Anyways, Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
What am I freaking thinking? Oh, I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I'll mention it again now. I am really enjoying Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to it on Audible. I like it enough. I'm probably going to get myself a print copy. Because I'm the kind of nerd who really wants to read the footnotes that I know are there, but are not being read on the Audible track. But it's basically, so like normally you have, history is written from the viewpoint of the winners, right?
Yeah.
A People's History tries to tell history from more like the viewpoint of the losers. And so, it starts American history with the Arawak people, on the island of Hispaniola, when Columbus showed up. And then the second chapter is about the American slave trade. And the third chapter is about Bacon's Rebellion. And the fourth chapter is about how they got the American Revolution to happen. And that's as far as I am right now. But it's really interesting. It's got some fascinating, analysis of history that I've never heard before, or at least I've never heard as concisely and as clearly as this. And it's well told. It's told like a story. And it includes, parts of history that are familiar. So, one chapter is almost all, he includes significant chunks of the Declaration of Independence. And so you get to hear the Declaration of Independence, and then you get to hear the context of the society in which that was written and celebrated. And it's just really good. I really recommend it. If you're looking for something to listen to, it's a pretty short read. You can listen to it while you're working. I get up in the morning and I go for a walk and I listen to it about 20 minutes at a time. And it's great. I highly recommend it. So that's what I'm geeking on this week. Freaking thinking about. Sorry. On podcast. What about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
Oh, God. Fucking, hey. God, I love you, Joe. That got me.
12 hours ago.
Right. Okay. No, the only thing I've been thinking about lately is when I got laid off last year, I was put on a hardship program with my house and my mortgage and everything, and I don't know why, but it seems like it's harder to get off that program than it was to even get on it to begin with, because obviously I'm working right now. I got a job. I tried calling them to kind of get it all situated. And instead of them just kind of like saying, okay, you're off the program, here's what we can do to kind of fix everything, they're just like, oh, well, you need to fill out this form and send it in. And the form they want me to fill out is the hardship program application. I was like, why do I need to fill this out again? I want to get off the program. Right. Like, oh, you got to send it in so we can deny you so we can move forward in the process. I'm like, what do you mean deny me? Yeah, it's a goofy fucking thing. Like, I'm hoping the guy that I spoke to didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can talk to somebody else. And, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do as soon as I get off the phone here, is try to figure out, say, hey, listen, I was on the program. I'm off the program. I have a job. What can we do? I'm hoping to get the house refinanced and everything and get like.
That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get a whole new mortgage.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I can refinance and I can kind of like, because I know my house value is a lot more than what I owe.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if I just take what I need to fucking, refinance a little bit more to wipe away the debt that I do have and kind of have like a clean slate and start over with just a mortgage.
Yeah.
I could be happy, but apparently it's more complicated than that because somehow they have to deny me the fucking, hardship program in order to get me off the hardship program. So it's goofy. I don't understand it. It's been a headache, through this whole thing because I had to wait for them to mail me the information I needed and they just emailed me the fucking packet and I don't fucking know. So hopefully this phone call I make today kind of, gets me on the right track to making everything a lot easier because I'm tired of fucking, it's like that old country song. Like I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
I want to have a fucking day where it feels like a win for me, and I haven't had one of those personally for a long fucking time. So
far be it from me to advocate violence of any kind. But one of the things that I've been learning in this book is that historically, when shit like this happens, Americans get together and they go to the banker's house and they pull the banker out of the house and tar and feather him. So I'm just saying there's a historical precedent for ripping his house to pieces board by board and throwing it into a river. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying think about it.
But it's a thought. Like okay, dude.
It's getting to be time for Americans to stand up for human dignity for themselves and their neighbors. And to stop letting rich assholes push us all around.
Well, and that's the goofy thing about it. It's like they sit there and they're like, okay, cool, let me help you. Let me get you into a better, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm appreciative of the fact that they even put me on this fucking program. They could just take my house. But why make it difficult to get off of the fucking thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I want to give you money. Like, why are you stopping me from giving you money?
They probably make more money off the interest while you're not paying or whatever.
Yeah. So, we'll see how it goes.
I don't have nice things to say about people like that.
Well, you have a mortgage now.
Jesus
I
didn't
don't blame you.
So, he chased him out of the temple with a bullwhip.
That's what I wanted to fucking do. I wanted to talk to you about the fucking, the weird idea of what people believe Jesus was, but he actually should have been.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think I had that somewhere. We're gonna talk about that fucking next season too.
All right.
So many ideas for season 5. Season 5, Joe. Fucking A.
I'm excited.
You guys don't do seasons over on GCL.
We do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. And we don't talk about them as that anymore. We say season 7 episode, and then instead of being the episode of the season, we do the total number of episodes now.
That's probably why I get mixed up.
338 as of last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember being on episode 100.
Yeah. No, we got to get you back on again.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask anymore because now it just seems fucking like needy.
I'd like to point out I do bring it up. Just so
I wish you didn't point that out because the fact that you keep bringing it up and I haven't been invited hurts my feelings.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I get it. I mean, like 50% of the fucking hosts I'm related to, but whatever. It must be Rob Bass. It has to be, right? Oh, God. No, I would love to come back on. You guys just let me know when and where.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if an hour a week of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our viewers, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Pod, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, make sure you follow us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just by searching This Freaking Show. And you can catch our show every single week on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, just by searching This Freaking Show. That is all I got. As always, I am Travis.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.